Well met, my curious traveler. I am impressed you have made it to my house of Scardale Court. Not many can brave the perils that stipple themselves along my land. The crawling pumpkins, the reaper corn stalks, or the pit of the tomb. Yet, here you are. Fret not. I know what it is you seek. Property. And yes, this house can be yours provided you have an offer that meets my, shall we say, financial terms. Cash or conventional VA mortgage with at least 20% down. I can see already you are beginning to sweat. I assure you it's a deal to die for. 6 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, at 30% below the market average. I know you want this, but can you handle this mansion's ethereal visitors? Okay, so haunted houses, right? What happens if a seller has a house that they're trying to sell and it has ghosts in it, purportedly? Some people believe in ghosts, other people don't believe in ghosts, so what would happen to the value of the house? And do you have to tell the buyers about its hauntedness? That's a good question. So I set out to interview some people. I interviewed 14 people in the park in downtown, got their opinion on it. Oh, there's a house here. It's 4 beds, 3 baths. It's got 2,500 square feet, 15 minutes from downtown. With these pictures, what do you think it is worth? 4 bed, 3 bath, 2,500 square feet about, and 15 minutes from downtown. These are the pictures to kind of give you a better idea. What would you say this one's worth?
It might be, and from where we're from, maybe a $450,000 house.
Okay, 450.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
I'd say about 425,000.
425. Okay, I like that. That's a good guess.
In current Boise market?
Yes.
At least 4, maybe 5.
4 to 5?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
12,000? I don't know.
12,000?
Yeah.
Okay, and
A month?
12,000 a month?
I don't even know.
400?
400?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good guess. How about if it had a pool on it?
400.
400.
Yeah, I
Doesn't
don't think
change it
that
for you?
it doesn't change it for me now.
Okay. How about if it were haunted?
Haunted?
Yes.
No joke. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Depends on the nature of the haunting, but I might still pay 400 for it.
Okay. And what if it were haunted?
425.
425?
Yeah.
I am completely flabbergasted that the results went the way they did. I was 100% certain that everybody was just going to say that, oh yeah, if it's purportedly haunted, then we're gonna want it less. It's going to be less. I want it less. It's less valuable to me. Apparently that's not the case anymore. May have been 10 to 20 years ago, but actually went up.
Oh, I think it'd probably go up.
You think so?
I think it probably would.
And what would happen if the house were haunted?
Elevated.
Elevated, even more. And what if this house were haunted?
I'd make that like 15,000.
15,000? It would
Yeah.
go more. Kind of the same idea where you have an Airbnb that is more popular because it has ghosts in it. Or you want to visit this specific house because someone famous was murdered there. Something like that. Spooky, right? How about if it were haunted?
It would have no impact on me.
No impact on you?
No, I'm a Christian. I'm not worried about ghosts.
Okay. All right, cool. And what if it were haunted?
Ooh, even better.
Even better?
What do you think?
I do not like
A couple people I talked to said that they would not be bothered by it per se, but that they would use that fact as a bargaining chip.
As a buyer, that would be my good negotiating point. I'd pay you $250 if it was haunted. How's that?
$250. Okay,
Yeah.
so did you buy a house that was purported to be haunted?
Yes.
You would? Okay.
Yes.
Do you
I
not?
might use that as a negotiating point.
There you go. Yeah. Bargaining chip to go
handle
down
the
a little bit. Can't handle the spooks.
I don't think houses could be haunted, but if people thought that, maybe it'd be less. But
Right.
So for some
nothing,
people it
so,
goes
yeah.
down, other people it has no effect whatsoever, right?
For real?
Yeah.
They're crazy. They're lying.
Only one person I talked to said that they would not buy the house under any circumstances, even for $1. Zero.
Because there are some people out there that would probably pay more for it just for that reason.
I'm sure of it, yeah.
Yeah.
How about in your case? Would it be higher or lower
nothing.
for you? Would it be if it were haunted?
The same.
The same? For you, would it change at all? Would you still buy it, or would
If
you...
I felt like it was the right place for me, yeah.
But what does the government think of a haunted house? Do you have to tell people that your house has a ghost in it? Well, apparently the government doesn't really care about that stuff. They can neither confirm nor deny the existence of ghosts, and in those cases, the government pretends it doesn't exist until it exists.
That's all, opinion.
That's what the government thinks for sure.
That's more like based on a belief or something, though.
Right,
isn't it?
right,
So
yeah.
that could be varied, but might be hard to sell to some people if they're superstitious about stuff like that.
If a house were haunted, would you want someone to tell you before you bought it?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You think so? As a seller, you do not have to disclose to anyone that a house is haunted because it is just considered a psychological stigma.
Now, if a buyer were to ask, you would have to tell them. But then that begs the question, well, what's technically haunted? Is a wisp haunted? Or do you have to be slapped in the face by a ghost? I don't know.
I think that it'd be in their best interest to know that it was haunted, but if they don't ask, don't tell.
If you like content like this, then be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And check out all the socials down on the link below. Right down there. That's in the YouTube realm, in this cloth, I suppose, here. So, thanks very much. See you later. "14 people. And I was convinced, absolutely convinced. Why am I wearing sunglasses?